And I just want to explain a challenge that some customers have when they first start out with the Lamplighter. They'll have put one fiber in, and then they'll call me and say, it isn't bright enough. And I want to explain why that occurs and how you can avoid that challenge. So here is your Lamplighter 2 in a box. Let's open it up and see what's inside. So here's the power supply. We're just going to go straight into the wall, and that will then go into the Lamplighter 2 box, and then plug straight into there. So that's very simple, and this is where your light output will be. I'm going to use one that I've got here, so I'm just going to plug that straight into my Lamplighter. Got it. All right. So the next thing I'm going to want to do, so I've got light coming out. I'm not going to fire that directly at you at this moment, but I can just put a fiber into this. So let's put a fiber in. Oh, there we go. All right. Now, one of the things you're going to be able to see is that as I move the fiber around, I actually change the intensity. And so what I want to show you is how do you actually avoid that happening, and how do you get the best light out of your fiber, okay? So you'll notice that this fiber is actually somewhat curved. Well, when it goes into the Lamplighter, we'd like it to be straight, but it isn't. So you've got a number of things you can do. You'll find in your product that there's a straw, and it's nothing other than something like a stirring straw you'd find in a McDonald's coffee shop. And again, I can stick that into this Lamplighter box, and now, of course, I can wiggle that around, and I'm actually going to have a much better light output, much more consistent output, because it's nice and straight in there. Take some fibers, cut them into, say, 4-6 inch lengths, whatever, and you could then stick those into the Lamplighter. And now, if I go ahead and put in the fiber that I want to use, say this one, let's put that one in. It's going to be quite bright, and I really don't have much option to be able to move it around in there anymore, because these other fibers are keeping it straight. With this Lamplighter, we can see there's got lots of fibers in it already. So let's just put the power into this one. Wow, look at the amount of light I'm getting from all of these different fibers. Well, that's because I've got plenty of fibers in here, and they're just pushing all the fibers to straighten out. There's a tube inside here, so the fibers are getting straight because I'm just putting a bunch in. So my recommendation is, when you start with this, play around with it, but I'd be putting bunches of fibers in, because then in that way, you're going to get the best results. Now, second thing I want to talk about very briefly is, how do you cut a fiber? So let's take a fiber. There it is. I just take something with this shearing action. I cut the end of the fiber, and I've got plenty of light coming out. Do not use something that pinches the wire. Normal wire cutters, you want something that has a shearing action to it. So these are excellent for that purpose, or just use a utility knife. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the product and it gives you many hours of enjoyment.
Trainz.com, making dreams come true, one train at a time.